Hey everybody, this is Royal Blue. I'm just gonna be brief here and talk about uh, my MS. Um, it is an autoimmune disease. Um, I found out I had MS a year ago, December of 2019. I had no clue that I had this disease. I didn't want to believe it. What caused me to find out that I had it was because I couldn't walk. I could barely walk, I should say. My hands were numb, my feet were numb, my legs were achy. It was just horrible trying to get out of bed in the mornings. I was in so much pain and I didn't know why. Like, what is going on? And so I ended up having an MRI for something else, totally different, a totally different situation. And that's when they found lesions on my brain. And the doctor told me, you may have MS. I'm like, okay, so what does that mean? I had tons and tons of questions. I still have questions, even after a year of knowing about this. But yeah, like I was saying, my hands and my feet were numb when I wake up in the mornings. I couldn't walk. Let me take that back. I could barely walk. I could walk. It just was painful and difficult. So a year into knowing that I had this disease, I've probably had it for many, many years before being diagnosed. Um, I'm not going to say that I'm glad I have this disease instead of something else. I'm not going to say that because something else could still come along. Whatever, whatever it could be. But with this illness, it messes with your eyesight. It messes with your thinking. It messes even swallowing. It's hard to swallow sometimes. So sometimes I don't get to eat because I can't swallow. So I'm just telling you this because I don't know what anybody's going through. I just know what I'm going through. And I decided to share my story because it could help someone. Well, maybe you've had trouble getting out of bed in the morning, or your hands and your feet are totally numb, like pins and needles are sticking you, and you try to walk on your feet and you can't. That's no joke. So, Now I'm on all kinds of medications for this illness. I get chemotherapy twice a year, um, compared to some of the other medicines that they have that that they have to get it more often than twice a year. So I'm thankful for that. That I only have to get chemo twice a year, but it's like 6 to 8 hours for a chemo session. My last chemo session was September 1st. My next chemo session is in March. So every 6 months, so September and March are my months to have chemotherapy. I wouldn't wish this up on anybody, not even my worst enemy. I wouldn't. Because it's a debilitating illness. Right now, I am RRMS, which is remitting. I am in remission right now, far as the progression of the illness. I don't want to call it a disease because diseases just sound so nasty to me. So I'll call it an illness. Um, but yeah, I I have problems thinking sometimes, and normally I am mentally sharp. Um, it takes me, as you can see, just like now, it takes me a minute to think about what I'm going to say next because I don't want to trip over my words. And then I just have this thought of people saying, well, why are you doing tarot readings if you can't think? That's why I read from the book. um, it helps. Plus, I love to read out loud. I love to hear my own voice read out loud. Um, I know this is probably a boring ass video for some people, but it's real. It's my reality that I chose to share. Let's see, what else? I'm not claiming this from this illness, but I was recently told that eventually people that have multiple sclerosis will end up in a wheelchair. Now, like I said, I'm not claiming that. I'm not. That's not what I want for my life. So I'm trying to do everything that I'm supposed to get through this illness as painless as possible. Now, if it comes down to that, which is a great possibility, then that's just something I'll have to deal with. What can I do? You know, I'm taking care of myself as well as I can. I have the support of my family and friends, and they're a tremendous blessing. And I am thankful and grateful to them and for them. Well, me and my friend, my best friend, we make little jokes about me. You know, he says little things to me to make me laugh, to find humor in what I'm going through. You know, at first I'd get mad, like, don't be talking about me, and, you know, and he's like, it's a part of you now. I mean, embrace it. What you gonna do? So, with all that being said, when things happen to you in life out of the blue, all of a sudden, it can change your whole world. I have goals. I have plans for my life. And I'm on my way to achieving them. I'm not going to let this illness stop me. I'm not going to give up. Because if I give up, then I have failed. And I am not a failure. By any means. So I am proud of myself. I am doing everything I'm supposed to do, except for that one vice I got, which I am not going to name. It's just unreal that this has happened to me. I didn't think nothing like this could happen to me. You know, I know one other person personally that has MS. And I didn't pay attention back then when I found out that they had it. I didn't pay attention to how they were changing. How their speech changed. How the way they walk changed. Everything about them changed. And it's like they got older. Like physically older. Like I watched them age over time. And they age quickly. I don't want to do that. I want to age gracefully. You know, some people find out that they had this illness like for 20-something years before being diagnosed. I stumble a lot when I walk. It's like I'm drunk, but I'm not. It appears that way. And no, they have to tell people, no, she's not drunk. Ain't nothing wrong with her. She just has MS. And then the people be like, oh, okay. And then they start asking questions about it. And so, basically, I'm just letting you know what's going on with me and my MS. Now, like I said, I'm in remission. But I still have symptoms. Sometimes my speech slurs, Or you might see my mouth moving, but nothing's coming out. Or facial expressions. All that is part of my MS.